Hi ladies, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I got this makeup look using products that I received in my Boxy Charm subscription boxes. I hope that it'll be fun for you. I have gotten some wonderful things in Boxy Charm. I've gotten some really high-end products and some mid-range products. They don't send you drugstore like Maybelline or CoverGirl or L'Oreal. They are mostly all higher end, middle to high-end products. So I do like that, and I'm going to show you how I got this look for today. So with that, I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Okay, let's have some fun trying some of the products that I've received in Boxy Charm. With Boxy Charm, you can pick, as I showed in my other video, whether you want more makeup or skincare. I chose to pick a little bit more makeup than skincare because I'm a makeup junkie and I have certain skincare that I really like. I do get new products that I have tried, eye creams, moisturizers, face masks, which I do love, so I love getting that, but makeup is my passion. With Boxy Charm, so one of the things that I just received in my last Boxy Charm was this. This is the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. And yes, it's not a brand new palette, it's been out a while. So sometimes you get things that have been out a while, other times you get things that are a little bit newer. So I'm going to make a makeup look using this, and I actually like the colors in this a lot. It's going to go with the green that I have on today because it does have some nice greens in here. It's got some neutrals, some warmer, some cooler tones and everything. And I had not tried Natasha Denona before I started getting Boxy Charm. And I got two of the smaller palettes and I tried them and I really liked her formula. So this is getting me more interested in products, and I think that's what Boxy Charm does, is it lets you try different things, and then if you like them, you can go back and buy them at the store because you get them at such a discounted price. The base one is $27.99 a month, and you get 5 full-size products. And like I said, I have gotten full-size foundations, full-size mascaras, full-size eyeshadow primers, full-size eyeshadow palettes, blush palettes. And then I opted to join the Luxe, so every 4th month I get a Luxe package that has 8 items in it, and that's when you get bigger items. So that's with my last one I got a Luxe. I got the bigger Natasha Denona palette. So with that, let's get started. I'm going to start out with an eye primer, and this is called Ace Beauty. I got this in Boxy Charm. I really, really like this. In fact, I'm going to go back on their website when they have their little flash sale that they have and order another one. This is in the shade Light. I really like the way that this works. And you can see it does have some coloring to it. So it is going to cover any imperfections that you have. Get rid of the veins. Make your eyelids more even tone. And it does help your eyeshadow stay on very, very well. And while that's drying down a little bit, I'm going to do my brows. One of the other things that I got in my package was the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil. And I really like this. It's got the spoolie on one end. And then it has your little pencil on the other. And I like this because it's very fine tip. And I actually got a good color. They ask you your coloring. Now I will say this with Boxy Charm, there are times when, and I don't know if it's just because they're out of your coloring or what, you do a little quiz at the beginning and you let them know what color your eyes are, what your skin tone is, what if it's your skin is dry or oily or whatnot like that. And then you also tell them what your skin tone is, if it's light, dark, if it's cool or warm or whatever. And then they will try to send you the products based on that. I have gotten a few things that weren't quite in my tone, which is fine because for what you pay, $27 for 5 items, you're paying $5 a piece. So I will, if I get something that I don't think would look right on me, I give it to a friend, and I think that's just fine. Now I did not get any kind of brow gel, so I'm going to just use my e.l.f. brow gel to go through here and just make them look thicker. Okay, now I'm going to go in, and because this Zendo palette, as you can see, it does not have a brow highlighter color that I would use, anything that's light enough for that, which is fine. I always keep a little backup of a one color eyeshadow someplace that is a light one that I can use under my brow. And the one that I have, I just picked up a little L'Oreal one, and it's just in a nice neutral color. It's not white, so it's not, you don't want anything that's too starkly white under your brow. You want something that's sort of flesh colored. And I'm going to use my Sigma A50 brush, and I am just going to put this under my brow. You never want to get anything that's too white. I think you can put something like real close to here that's like a little bit lighter, almost white, just to emphasize your brow, the shapes of your brow. But sometimes you're going to get eyeshadow palettes, no matter what brand they are, that you don't have a color that's a good brow highlighter color. So that's why I just picked up something like this that I can just grab to go with any palette. So you're not having to mix and match palettes, which I do anyway, so that's not a problem. Okay, so I'm going to start out, and I want to try to use some of the colors that are in here, but I'm going to start out with something over here for in my crease. So I think I'm going to start out with the color called Relief, this really light peach colored. And as I said, I'm new to Natasha Denona. I've tried her other palettes, and I do really, the two that I did get in Boxy Charm, I really liked. So her formulas to me are smooth, creamy, they blend very well. And I'm using the Angie Hot and Flashy BK Beauty brush. I love their brushes. This is the A503. These are basically what I use most of the time because they are really good for mature eyes. I like the Sigma brushes as well. There are some other ones that you can get at the drugstore that are really well. As I said, my channel's for every age. It's not necessarily just for women over 50. The tips that I'm giving you as far as makeup and everything, you can use no matter what age you are. So I think that's just, you know, those are just tips that I'm giving you. But these brushes, they work good on anyone, but because these that were made in conjunction with Angie from Hot and Flashy, they are made, I think, to blend better with mature eyes. Okay, then I'm going to go in with the next one down, which is the Angie A502, and I think I'm going to deepen the crease a little bit, but I think I'm going to go in, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to add some greens. So let's add a little bit of this one called Calm. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to go into the crease a little more, and then out at the edge, just to give this a little bit more depth. And then I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to mix. I'm going to mix this brown and that color. I'm just going to tap in the brown just a little bit. The brown is called Mindful, and then I'm going to tap into that Calm. So it's going to make it a little bit deeper. I'm just bringing this in the corner. these are blending so well. And that's one of the things that I like about BoxyCharm. You're paying such a small price for the things, $5 a piece. So it would be like going and buying Elf or Essence or something like that. You're paying such a small amount, but you're getting high-end products. And I found some that I really, really like. Okay, now I'm going to go into, this green is a little bit warmer for what I'm wearing because I'm wearing something more teal. So I'm going to go into this green right here. And this is called Mantra. And I've got the smallest Angie brush. This is the A504. And I am going to put this in my corner. I'm just taking it across my lid and then up in like a V. And I will say, I am getting like no fallout whatsoever. So this is really nice. So I have blended this in. So it's just really super subtle. I really like that. And I want to check and see what this is. Ooh, this is called Equilibrium. It's got a little bit of satin color to it. I'm going to tap that. Oh my gosh, this feels like butter. I mean, it is just so soft and creamy. That is just amazing. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to blend it out. That just added a lot of depth to that corner. Which I like. And again, these are blending out really, really nice. Ladies, if you ever go too low, you can always take a makeup wipe when you're blending. I like to do that after. As you get older, and this, you know, even if you're younger, you don't want your eyeshadow to come down here. You always want it to lift up because that's just going to lift you up. I mean, it's going to lift your eyes up. It's going to bring everything up. You don't want it to drag down. Okay, now in between each one, I'm using my Sigma switch. I'm cleaning off my brushes, which I absolutely love that. Okay, now I got to pick a color for my lid. I'm going to do the Tranquil, which is sort of like the peachy color. And I'm going to use my fingers to apply this to my lid. Now this is not a super shimmery color. And then I'm going to take the Yara, that's the duochrome, and I'm going to put this on top of it. So it's going to give it a little bit more of a shimmer and a sheen. And ladies, when you're putting different colors on, you can always layer and mix and match. That's why I put the peach color on, but then I decided to put the duochrome over the top, and it's going to change the color just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my big Angie brush and I'm going to blend a little bit more on the top. Okay, and I might do some underneath, we'll see in a minute, but I'm going to move on to eyeliner and mascara. I have not received an eyeliner in my BoxyCharm, so I am going to use my Essence. This is the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil, and I really like these. So the first thing that I always do before I do my eyeliner or anything is I use my lash comb. I separate my lashes. And then I go in and I curl my lashes. Because I'm going to tightline. I am not going to do top of my eyes today for this look. I'm going to tightline. Okay. Then I usually go in and I will put my first layer of eyeliner on. And I mentioned that in another video. If you want your eyeliner that you're using for your tight line to last, put 2 layers on. I have noticed that makes a huge difference. I'll put 1 layer on, and then I let it dry just a minute, and when it's dry, then I will put another layer on top. And I feel that that actually helps it stay a lot longer. And I've been doing this for a long time, and then I noticed that one of the other YouTubers that I watch, the influencers, she mentioned the same thing, that she does the same thing, and I said, oh, well, I guess I'm glad I'm not the only one that does this. Because ladies, anything we can do to make our makeup last throughout the day so you don't have to touch up is a good thing. We want to be able to get it done, set it, go, and not have to worry about it. Okay, I have not gotten an eyelash primer, but I always use an eyelash primer, so I just picked up, I was at the grocery store the other day, I was at Meijer's, so I picked up the Essence Volume Boosting Lash Primer. So I'm going to use that. And then this is a mascara that I got in my Boxy Charm, and it is called, okay, this is way too small. This is called Whole Lotta Mascara. So I'm going to give this a try. It says BFC is the brand. So I've tried this once or twice. So far I like it. I'm getting more and more picky about my mascaras, and I found a couple that I like that I just tried recently. Okay, so I got my primer on. I let that set just a minute. After it sets a minute, and go with this mascara. It's got an hourglass wand on it, which usually makes me think it's definitely more for volume. Looks like it's doing pretty good, and it's giving some length, and it's not clumping. So I'm going to finish my eyes, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Wow, these give really nice volume, length. So I really like that so far, so we're doing good. Okay, now, I did not have a primer, so I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Age Perfect Primer. I'm going to put that on. I do already have all of my skincare and sunscreen. I'm using my Dermatology. I did not put the tinted one on today because I wanted to see how the foundation worked. Now, the foundation that I'm going to be using, I do like. It's a little light, so I will tell you that, but I'm going to put some bronzer on and I can make it work. But before I do that, I'm going to put a little bit of my Pixie by Petra. I'm going to put a little bit just right here. Color corrector. I'm using the peach color corrector because your peach is opposite your color wheel, and it's going to cancel out your blue and purple. And this is inexpensive. You can find different inexpensive ones. One of the ones I do want to try, I want to try the one by NARS. I've heard that that's really, really good. And that's, you know, higher end, but it's not drugstore. But Ulta has their own brand. Sephora probably has their own brand. But just by putting that color corrector right there where I had a little bit of darker, I went to bed about 1 and got up at 6:30. My puppy woke me up at 6:30 this morning because he's used to work day. My concealer I'm going to use is the NYX Bear With Me concealer, my absolute favorite drugstore concealer. This is a thinner consistency. It's got good coverage. It's got hydration in it, so it's really good for more mature eyes. And I'm just put a dot there and dots on the outside. And then I'm going to grab my Angie A506 brush, and I'm going to, and this is another trick that you can do that'll help correct any mistakes, you know, other than just using your makeup wipe for any fallout or whatever. I like to take my concealer and actually put it right here and bring it out. And then I can make a nice crisp line. Use your concealer so your eyeshadow has a nice crisp upward line. And you can see this concealer is not settling into any lines or wrinkles. I really, really like this. Okay, I had to take a little bit of a break because there was some noise downstairs. My husband just went and picked up the boys. They got their hair cut. So Loki, look at this cute little face. Look at this face. Say hi. I got my hair cut. And come here, Rhodey. Come here, sweetie. Here's our other little baby. Here's our 9-year-old Yorkie Poo. His name is Rhodey. And they both smell so good. Okay, boys. Let's get back to taping here. Puppies are always a fun distraction, so I'm always game for that. Okay, I'm going to press in my concealer. Then we're going to move on to our foundation. My foundation is from ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills. I do really, really like this foundation. It's very, very light, and you can tell that. What I have done a couple of times is I've done a mixer and added in like a little darkener to darken it up. I'm going to try to use it today as is. We'll see how it works. Sometimes just by me putting on my tinted sunscreen, that changes the color enough so I can get away with it. But we will see. And I'm actually going to blot this in with my fingers to start. And then I'm going to use my sponge to finish pressing it in. And it definitely is light, and I normally would have to mix into it. And that's one of the things that sometimes with BoxyCharm you can get something that's just a little bit off. It's hard enough when you're picking your own foundation out, if you're buying foundation online, to get the correct shade. And you'll get it and it's either too dark or too light, and you mix shades together. I have done that, and I've even mixed 2 foundations together. I do have some other foundations up here because I'm going to be taping another video while I'm up here about some foundations that I think are great for more mature skin and dry skin. So I have some other ones up here. I could mix one with it, but I'm just going to work with what I got. So this is what you got. It's a very nice finish. It's a natural finish, a little bit dewy. I do really like this. This is the 110C, so it is a cool undertone, which is good, because that's what I need. But I probably could have used like maybe another shade up if it came like 115, 120, just a little bit darker. But we're going to make it work. So with that, this is the next thing that I got. And this is what I was talking about, high-end things too. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder, and this is in the color Sugar Cookie. I love this, and now I know I'm going to go back and get some more of this. This is very good for under your eyes and for setting your whole face, and I like the fact that it's got the little mesh cover on here, I'm going to take a small Sigma brush, tap off, and I am going to just press lightly under my eyes. To set my concealer. And then I'm going to take my big fluffy, this is an It Cosmetic brush that I got years ago, and I absolutely love this as well. And I'm just going to go around and lightly set the rest of my face. I'm concentrating more in the middle here. I would say where I get oily, but I don't get oily. The next thing that I got, I'm trying to move along here quickly, is a bronzer. And this is from, got a shiny cover so it's hard to see, Iconic London. Iconic London is another brand that's sold at Sephora, and I really like this. In fact, the last time Sephora had a sale, I went in and bought a little mini that had a contour kit that had a cream and a powder, and it was the perfect cool undertone contour, and I fell in love with it. So then when I got this bronzer, I was like, okay, this is really nice. I'm glad that I found something that is from a brand that I like. And this is not too orange, which I really like this because I am a cooler undertone. And we're just going to take, we're going to do a little bit of contouring with it. I'm going to put a little bit of color, put it under my chin. And then we're going to take, I'm going to take a little bit smaller brush that I have here. This is a Sigma Small Contour brush. It's the F05. And I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use this as a contour because it is cool enough that I can and this is really nice. It does blend out very nice. You can see how nicely that looks. I think it's looking wonderful. Look at that color. Not too cool, not too warm. And you can tell it's giving enough of a contour, but it's subtle enough, but you can see it. Love that. Then we're going to move on to blush. This is another thing that I got from Natasha Denona. It's a Cupid Cheek Duo Cream Blush and Highlighter. I like this. It's a more of a little bit more peachy color that I normally would pick. But I tried it the other day, and it's not too peachy. So it's just fine for me. And it's a very subtle color. And I like using cream blushes because too much powder doesn't look good on more mature skin. So and it's buildable. It's got a little bit of a glow to it because of the cream in it, but it's nice and buildable. And then it's got a little highlighter in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little small Sigma brush, I'm going to use my Sigma switch, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this highlighter and put it right here on the tops of my cheeks. Now when you're putting highlighter on, ladies, you don't want to get too much up close to your eyes because that's where, if you have wrinkles, you're going to have a little bit more of them. So you want to stay more on your cheeks. Wow. Whew, that is pretty. I think I'm becoming a big fan of Natasha Denona. Just the two things that I've tried here. This is the first blush that I have tried. I tried this the other day for the first time, and I absolutely love it. I got both of these just in my last package, so really, really like that. So I think we are pretty good here the only thing I have left to do is my lips. So I'm going to go down, fix my hair real quick, put on some jewelry. I will be right back and we'll put on some lips. Okay, I'm back. I went and fixed my hair, put some jewelry in. So the last thing we have to do is lips. I have not gotten, actually I did, but I didn't bring it up because it wasn't the color that I wanted to use today. A lip liner, so I did not bring an actual lip liner up with me. So, I'm going to be using today one of my favorite lipsticks. This is from Urban Decay, and this is their, it's their creamy, it's called Violate. Love this mauve tone. I love mauve pink colors on my lips. But one of the things that I did get is this lip gloss from Patrick Ta, which is another good high-end brand. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it, and I have not actually used it, so we're going to give it a try and put a little bit. Gives it a little bit more shine. So here's the final look. I think it came out beautiful. Absolutely love the coloring. I know this is an older palette. I think it's still available on their website. I will double check. You might be able to get it through BoxyCharm on their site, as they do have like a little store that you can get from there. This is the Zendo palette again. Love the colors. I like the blush. It looks very, very natural. I like it because it's a cream blush and then it's got the highlighter right in it. This is another one, and I do know Natasha Denona has blush and highlighter duos in the store, so you can still pick those up. Huda Beauty, their setting powder in Sugar Cookie. I love this. As I said, it's not, I can press everything in. I still do not. It's had time. Nothing's settling in. So I really, really like that. I love the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. It's very lightweight. It blends right in. I'm going to go back and get a different color that's a little bit darker, and then maybe I can mix them just so I can get something that's a little bit darker. But like I said, I just put a little bit of bronzer lightly over my skin and then a little deeper in some of the other spots, and it worked out perfectly. Iconic London, the bronzer. It blends in very, very well. Another good brand. I would highly recommend BoxyCharm to anybody. Will I say that a year or two from now? I don't know, but I've been a member for 6 months now, I believe it is. 7 months. And I haven't been disappointed in anything that I've gotten. And like I said, I've gotten some skincare. One of my favorite things that I got was Pharmacy face oil. Used it on my face this morning after my moisturizer because my skin is getting so dry. I've gotten eye creams and everything, so you can customize your box. So it's something that you may want to try because you can cancel it anytime. You don't have to lock into, you have to stay for a year or 2 years or something like that. You can start it 3 or 4 months down the road. No, it's not for me. You can cancel it. And you're not out, and you've gotten products for $5, high-end luxury products for $5. I do hope that you enjoyed this video and that you learned a little bit about BoxyCharm. It's not necessarily for everyone, but it's something that I enjoy, and I think that you might enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope that while you are here, you will join my community by hitting the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and give it a big thumbs up. Go out and have yourself a wonderful, blessed day, and I will see you again in the next video.